Today, we will learn the basics of Maya Hypershade. Open Hypershade from Windows Rendering Editor's Hypershade. Alternatively, you can click the Hypershade icon at the top. Hypershade is the workspace used to create and manage materials and textures. Normally, I keep Hypershade open on a second monitor while working. But for this recording, I will arrange it within a single screen. Click the layout icon on the left side of the viewport to split the screen into two panels. Click one of the split panels, then select Hypershade from the panels menu. Hypershade will now be displayed in that panel. To save screen space, I will close the Material Viewer and Property Editor. Instead, I will keep the Attribute Editor open on the right side. This layout is also useful when working on a laptop or a single monitor setup. The long panel below the menu is called the browser. If you accidentally close it, you can enable it again from the window menu. Detached panels can be docked again by dragging them to the desired location. The Create panel on the left is where materials and textures are created. For example, if Arnold is active, Arnold-specific shaders will be displayed here. There are many attributes here, which can look confusing at first. For now, just remember the surface section. Most material work is centered around surface shaders. For this example, let's create a few simple objects. Open the Favorites tab in the Create panel, and you will see that Maya is selected. Let's click on it. You will see basic materials such as Blinn and Lambert. This allows you to view the materials available for the currently selected renderer. These shaders are provided by Maya by default. These shaders were widely used in production in the past. But nowadays renderer-specific shaders such as Arnold, V-Ray, and Redshift shaders are more commonly used. As a result, they are mostly used for simple tests or tasks such as setting up image planes. Since the goal of this lesson is to learn the basics of Hypershade, we will use these shaders. First, click the Lambert material. A material node will then be created in the work area on the right. You can zoom in and out manually, or press F to frame the selected node in the view. Select one of the objects you created and place your cursor over the Lambert material. Hold down the right mouse button and drag to assign material to viewport, then release. The Lambert material will then be assigned to the selected object. Press Ctrl-A to open the Attribute Editor. You should see a Lambert 2 tab at the end of the tabs. Let's change the color by selecting the color attribute. Feel free to choose any color you like. You can see the selected color being applied to the object immediately. This time, let's assign a material using a different method. Select another object and hold down the right mouse button. You will see the Assign New Material option near the bottom of the menu. Without releasing the mouse button, move to New Material and then release it. A material creation window, similar to the Create panel, will appear. From this window, you can select and create a new material directly. This time, let's select a Blinn material. Once again, let's change the color value and apply a different color. If you look closely, you'll notice that Lambert and Blinn display surfaces differently. In particular, Blinn produces specular highlights from light reflections. Each shader has its own unique characteristics and purpose. The other shaders you will use also have their own distinct properties. Now let's take a look at the checkerboard icon next to the color attribute of the Blinn material. This button is used to connect new nodes or textures. Let's click on it. A new window will appear. Open the 2D Textures category. You will find a default texture called Checker. Let's select Checker. The checker texture will now be connected to the material. Now press the number 6 key in the Maya viewport. You should now see the texture applied to the object. The number 6 key enables texture display mode in the viewport. Notice that the color attribute of the Blinn material now looks different. This indicates that another node is connected to that attribute. Let's click on it again. You will see the connected checker texture. Now let's change the colors of the checker texture. The changes will be updated immediately in the viewport. Next, let's take a look at the Place 2D texture node connected to the checker texture. This node controls how the texture is placed and mapped. It is a node that is closely related to UV mapping. Since we will cover the UV editor in the next lesson, we will only look at the basic functions for now. Let's adjust some values. Increase the repeat UV value. You will notice that the checker pattern is repeated more times on the cube. Repeat UV determines how many times a texture is repeated across UV space. Higher values result in more repetitions of the same texture pattern. Now let's return to the Hypershade window. With multiple nodes displayed, the workspace may start to look cluttered. Select the cube and click the icon I am pointing to. The shader and all connected nodes for the selected object will be displayed in the work area. This is one of the most commonly used features for viewing node connections. Now let's click on the icon I am pointing to. This will clear the current workspace and give you a clean view. It is very useful for cleaning up the workspace when many nodes are displayed. This button displays the nodes connected to the selected object. You can also select a shader in the browser and click this button to display all nodes connected to that material. This is one of the most frequently used features in Hypershade, so it is worth becoming familiar with it. Practice using it several times to become comfortable with the node connection workflow. Try creating a few more materials from the browser. As you create multiple materials, some of them may become unused. In this case, choose Edit. Delete unused nodes to remove all unused materials and nodes at once. Now let's select the blend material with the checker texture connected. Choose Edit, Duplicate, Shading Network. This will duplicate not only the material but also all connected nodes. Finally, place your cursor over a material node and press the 1, 2, or 3 keys on your keyboard. You can switch between simple and detailed node displays. This also makes it easier to see the connections between nodes. You can also disconnect or create node connections directly within the work area. Today we learned the basics of Hypershade. More advanced topics will be covered in detail in the Arnold and V-Ray rendering tutorials. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and hit the bell for more Maya tutorials. Thanks.